25 drills of Christmas, day 8, drill 8. Let's talk about the stop glide. What is a stop glide? A couple videos ago, we talked about checking, making sure all your weight was on your right foot, being able to pick up the left foot, all that good stuff. But when do you actually check? Well, you check yourself in the standing throw, the power position, but you also check your throw when you're doing a stop glide. So a stop glide, you're going to start in the back of the circle in a regular glide position. Then you're going to have your athlete glide and stop. And when they get into this power position, then you can check everything. But as a coach, it also gives you the opportunity to break up the throw and see how everything looks. By breaking up the throw into two separate parts, it allows the coach and the athlete to check everything and make sure. We're in that glide position, we glide, we stop, and then we check. 25 drills of Christmas, day 9, drill 9. We know that when we get set up in a power position, our athletes are typically going to be set up here in the actual front half of the circle. Well, what happens a lot of times is that when athletes glide, they start in the back of the circle and they land somewhere around here. And their foot is very stretched out and they don't have a great base. So how do we get their foot from landing behind the circle, behind the half, to where it needs to be? We give them something like this stretch out strap. Now you can use a jump rope, a band, a stretch out strap. We have the actual line painted here in the middle of the circle. This is going to scare them a little bit. If they land on top of it and step on it, they're not going to fall, they're not going to trip, but it is something scary. So you have them start in the back of the circle and you have them glide, get over that strap, and train them to land in the front half of the circle. 25 drills of Christmas, day 10, drill 10. You know, the number one issue with a lot of new gliders is that they are shifting their weight way too early when they get to that power position. They're using their head and shoulders to come up out of the back, and they're landing very heavy on their left. Or they might be staying low in the back, but as they get in that power position, they're facing this way and all their weight is going to shift. Gliding without putting your blocking foot down is actually going to help your athlete keep their weight back, stay nice and low, and make sure all their weight is on that power leg. We're going to start in the back of the circle, normal glide position. We're going to glide and then land balanced on that power foot. What that's going to do is it's going to ensure that your athlete is keeping their eyes back and their upper body back. It's going to ensure that they are staying low and balanced on that power foot. And it's going to ensure that they're not slamming that left foot down. 25 drills of Christmas, day 11, drill 11. Let's talk about the mirror turn. The mirror turn is basically like the stop glide for the regular glide. The mirror turn takes care of the middle of your throw. Here's something that I want to look for with all of my athletes. We want to make sure when they get set up in that mirror turn position, they're looking at that 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock reference line, just like the circle was the clock. You want to make sure that they have their non-throwing arm pointed down that line, their foot, their knee, and their hip are pointed down that line. So it looks just like a backwards power position. All we're going to do is start with the shot, or you can wind up with the discus. We're going to bring the knees together, bring the feet together, pivot, and step out. And then we are in our standing throw position, and we can either repeat the drill multiple times, or we can go through and throw. 25 drills of Christmas, day 12, drill 12. There are 4 major parts to your rotational technique. There's the standing throw, the mirror turn, the South African, and then of course the full throw that puts it all together. When you're teaching your athletes the 4 separate parts, a lot of times it gets kind of choppy. So they're starting out in the mirror turn position. It's very much a 1 and then a 2. There's no smoothness between it. Same thing happens in the back of the circle when they do their South Africans. It might be kind of a 1 and then a 2. How do you actually smooth things out? Well, you do that by picking up the feet. So if you have somebody that does a standing throw that's very choppy, where they're kind of like 1 and then 2 and then go, have them pick up the foot, lift the foot, down and go. Same thing happens in the mirror turn position. If they're very choppy, you can pick up the foot, down and go. It's going to help to improve their timing and make sure that they are smoothing out these positions. 25 drills of Christmas, day 13, drill 13. Happy Friday the 13th. You know, a couple of years ago, this big explosion happened online on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube of people who were saying that you need to get your weight on your left, get more weight on your left, shift more weight onto your left. Here's what I do to teach my athletes to get on my left. It's a basic 6-inch orange cone, and this is about a 6.5 foot piece of white PVC pipe that fits right in the hole on the top. If my athletes are in the back of the circle and they try to turn too early and dive into the circle, they're going to knock over the PVC pipe. Okay, those are the athletes that dive in shoulder first and they over-rotate into the left side of the circle. So if you want to get around it, what do? You get more weight onto your left and you pivot around that pipe.